skill.
So what's your 4-person lineup in this game?
Okay, in my party right now, I have Kaya, Albedo, Shinyan, and the fourth person is interchangeable. But right now, I have Jean just because she damages and she heals.
Mhm.
So I get and she's a 5-star, so
True.
I get a lot of utility out of her.
Mhm.
Dude, Jean's pretty good. I just started leveling up my Jean. I haven't played much of her yet, but
Does her elemental burst do damage too? I have not been paying attention.
It does.
Okay.
Wow,
It's-
that's
Okay.
It's
That's
pretty.
crazy.
It's pretty awesome. Like she doesn't do as much damage as like a straight damage dealer, but she does do more than most healers.
what do you think about Koi? You've heard that in the next patch on 1.3, Mihoyo is going to be buffing Geo users as a whole, right? And the kind of
Really? I haven't heard that.
oh yeah, they're
Oh, cool.
buffing Geo as a whole, especially Geo kind of resonance with other Geo users. Like if you have 2 or more or whatever in your party, that's going to be getting a little bit of a thing. But like what do you think, man? I mean, I think you're going to be pretty pumped considering that you use.
Oh,
Albedo.
hell yeah. I mean, yeah. All I'm hearing is using Albedo is going to be even more fun.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'm assuming that means Geodaddy Zhongli is gonna
Oh,
is
dude,
gonna be
yeah.
good to use too.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that means I'm gonna get to hear myself and Mr. Keith Silverstein adventuring across Teyvat together.
That would be pretty cool. Not
Yeah.
gonna lie.
Dude,
I mean, that's a
gonna be
lot of
amazing.
sexy for one group.
It's too much sexy
Mhm.
for one group, really. If we're being honest.
That's fair.
Oh, you. I have such a crush on Keith, and I don't think he knows who I am.
Who? Keith?
Keith
Oh,
yeah.
Silverstein.
Hold while I make a phone call.
No!
Oh.
You cannot do this.
I'm gonna call and be like, Keith, someone has a crush on you.
Okay, man, look.
Okay.
He's just gonna
Please
wake
understand-
up to a text and be like, Keith, Koi
I think
decided to confess his undying love for you last
think
night.
But
Keith-
Keith is a character in a show that I'm directing, so we do have a bit of professional traffic. So I'm just saying.
I mean, to be fair, he's usually like your teacher in every show.
Yeah,
Like,
he's like my sensei or my senpai or my father surrogate.
Yeah.
Like in March comes in like a lion.
March, he was your pervy teacher.
Hmm He was
Oh,
the only
boy.
kind of teacher in anime.
I was gonna say.
The best
Oh
kind of
man,
teacher.
the amount of bloopers that will never see the light of day.
Oh.
Well, they did see the light of day, didn't they?
Well, some of them did, but like, not
I
the ones
think-
that we did.
No. Some pretty spicy ones got there. I
There
mean,
were
like,
pretty spicy ones. There were some pretty
They-
spicy ones.
it's just anime bloopers are just sex jokes, man. It's just
I mean, they kind of are, and
Oh, thank
there's, you know.
Oh damn. Work. That's
So
great.
Koi, we actually have a question for you now. How did Mihoyo find you, and your work? How did they find you for the audition?
that is a mystery to me too. I woke up to an email from Chris one time saying, "Hey, I'm doing this thing. We got an audition for you that we think you might be cool for." I was like, "Okay, cool beans." And then-
Actually, I can actually shed some light into this.
Oh, yay, I
here.
love when you do
there's
that.
there's a co-director, right? I'm assuming. With whom I
Yeah,
have not done this
there is
draft-
another director that comes in and helps out when deadlines are really tight. And it was actually that director named Phil Bach who we were kind of playing around with a couple of different voices for Koi and bringing people in and kind of seeing just kind of what we liked and just playing around with the character and trying to dial that in. And it was actually his suggestion. He was like, "Dude, go with Koi. I think I know what you guys are looking for," and did. And so we were like, "All right." So we brought Koi in and got him in as soon as we could, and turned out to be amazing right out of the gate. So we were like, done and done,
We're gonna
dude.
need help.
Yep.
Yay!
Not funny.
They want to ask, Koi, what is your favorite Albedo line?
My favorite Albedo line is the one where he talks about how icky relationships are.
Give us an Albedo line. Let's do it. Let's get one in.
All right, let me see if I can pull it up. Oh, here it is. Let's see. It goes. Relationships are quite troublesome. Once you establish a relation with someone, you must continue to maintain it. If you lose contact, you must reestablish the relation. This taxing cycle requires a lot of time. and this was one of the audition lines.
Yes.
And the second I saw it, I was like, he that type of motherfucker.
Well,
I get it.
it's my headcanon that Albedo is asexual. And again, this is a headcanon. I don't know what Mihoyo has decided for Albedo, but my headcanon is that he's completely asexual. He's like, wait, why? Wait.
Either that or he's on the other end of the spectrum completely.
He's with alchemy, all right? That's
Yeah.
what he's in love with.
Yeah.
He's got a relationship with his work.
Yeah,
He's married to alchemy.
All right.
he is. Yeah, dude. I mean, I love it, man. It's. I mean, honestly, Albedo is one of my favorite voices in the game, just for how kind of amazing and kind of unique in a way that it is, and that speaks a lot to that background that we were talking about, which I think is amazing. You know what I mean? It really kind of sets you and your character apart.
we
It's
feel
very
it.
mysterious. Yo, I saw this video of someone using
Oh, again, I got-
Zhongli
I
and
got
Albedo to
through.
do a lot of damage to an enemy without moving. Where it's basically you lay down his pillar that does a pulse of damage, and then you switch
Right.
to Albedo and you lay down his elevator, and then you just move out of harm's way, and you watch as the pillar murders everything within your range without,
Oh, yeah,
like, lifting a finger.
Say, Soupy says, I'd like to ask Koi about his thoughts and experiences when he did the voice recording for PSO2, since he voiced Affin and Oza or Oza, I don't know.
Ozai, Often and Ozai.
Yeah, and I'm especially interested in his thoughts when he did the recording for Affin, and so.
Oh, okay. So for PSO2, that journey was pretty traditional. I got the audition in my inbox. I submitted an audition, and then I booked it. Went to the studio, recorded the character. That part isn't very interesting.
Oh, I died.
As far as the voice for Often is concerned, we weren't sure if we wanted him to be a space Australian or a space Brit. So, you know, we kind of just did whatever. Accents, those specific accents, the way they're understood by the traditional American ear versus the way I do it, there's a lot of there's a discrepancy essentially. So I sort of just did whatever, you know.
And this is for Affin?
Yeah, this is often the space Australian / Brit.
He gets asked about him often.
Yeah. Yes. Eddie, I'm gonna murder you, and as soon as I murder you, I'm gonna kiss your corpse on the mouth.
All right, I
What?
like it.
Hey, what is this? Married Skelter?
Yeah. Yes. You know what? I'll reverse the order just for that.
Mm.
So we had a
Damn it.
question about your involvement with how did you feel about like your character in the Gundam series?
Oh, okay. So for people who don't know, I voice Tsukasa Shiba in Gundam Build Divers, and I get typecast as the bitch a lot, and that's what Tsukasa Shiba is. He's a bitch. So I got the email saying I'd been autocast. They needed someone. They needed an actor who was available who could play a character who could play that archetype, which happened to be in my wheelhouse. So you know, I got to work with Steve Staley, who does all the Gundam
Nice.
stuff. I think.
I like Steve.
Yeah, he's good people, and he's a really talented actor.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's such a good actor.
Yeah. Yeah, oh my god, yeah. So, you know, it didn't take long to establish him. We found the voice pretty quick, and, you know, a lot of his stuff is just mustache twirly anime shit, so it was fun. It's fun. It's always a fun session.
Would you mind doing a
With-
line from it?
Yeah.
I can't remember
Oh,
anything from that
no!
show.
I
It
mean,
was...
really, if it was Gundam, it's probably a lot of.
Yeah,
Fair.
something like that. His character was essentially, what is it? I'm Tsukasa Shiba. I like robots, and I'm a bitch.
He's not
Everyone
pretty
is a
badass. I don't
faker.
know what
That
you're
seems
talking
canon.
about, dude.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
Sounds cool.
But that's him.
Yeah. I always like your take on a lot of things because I feel like also like as a person who came from all of the countries that you've come from and what you've had to go through just to like get here and stuff like that, that you have a very interesting
Oh yeah.
take on a lot of your characters because of that. And that's
Oh,
what I've also
absolutely.
always said to people is that like acting is like where you get like these clever takes, like how did you think of doing this take is always I'm like because I lived it. It's my own experience. A character
Yeah.
is never somebody different. You're always an extension of yourself with a character. And so that's why like with you Koi because you've been through all these places, like you have such a wide what's the word? You're
Range
very
of
cultured
experiences.
because you've been to so many places and you've experienced so many places in the world. And
Yeah.
so it's very awesome to like see and hear you act because you have all of those experiences and stuff. So yeah, you're worldly. Thank you. You're worldly.
Yes.
You
Well,
know.
I'm glad to hear my work has been a point of interest for a lot of
Oh, dude.
Well,
consumers and colleagues.
and one of the things that I saw from a lot of people when you finally got to announce that you were Albedo was that a lot of people were like, "Oh my gosh, like the fact that you're Asian is so huge to me because I like they're you know Hollywood is pretty white,
Yeah.
Wait,
and so
is it?
and
What?
so having a
Yes.
person like a person that is Asian like you do kind of become a breath of fresh air and a beacon for those who didn't think that they could do something like you do.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. And let's see. Something that was really weird for me that I hadn't really thought about until people started bringing it up was just the fact that my name is what it is in general. Because having spent most of my life, on the eastern side of our tiny little planet,
Right.
of our tiny little dying planet, my name was never a point of interest to a lot of people because it belonged in the lexicon of whatever culture I
Right.
inhabited. And then I moved here, and it's like, oh, you're so exotic or whatever. And I've never thought of myself that way.
That's cool.
So yeah, so it was really interesting to be told that people took pause when they saw it or heard it.
I'm really curious, what language do you think in?
Yes.
You
That
spoke so many languages.
It's changed over the years. When I could
Interesting.
only speak Vietnamese, I thought in Vietnamese. When I could speak mostly French and some Vietnamese, I thought in French. Then I started
Wow.
learning English, and it was like a mix of all three for a while.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah, slowly, English started becoming my best language because it was the language I had the most traffic with. So now most of my thoughts occur in English, but different languages have very specific terms that refer to very specific experiences.
Mm.
So sometimes I'll find myself using or substituting a word from that language in an internal English sentence
Oh, that's
that is
cool.
occurring in my head.
That's
Super
awesome.
cool.
We
Hey,
have a
they have a
question.
question.
Oh, sorry. Keep going, Chris.
That's just one quick question here. It says for all the voice actors here, do you guys sometimes have conversations with yourselves and the voices of the characters you've played before? And a separate question from somebody was, do you turn on a sexy VA voice when you're pursuing somebody romantically?
I mean, you heard how he talks to Eddie.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean,
there you go.
that's not much of a pursuit though. I just mean
I mean, Eddie is just flat out just laying himself in front of him. So.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah,
Not
what about
hard.
those questions here? Do you talk to yourself in the characters that you've played before, type thing? Like, do you hear those voices sometimes chime in character, or what?
I think I should speak up a little bit about this because I will say, if I spoke as Paimon in front of my boyfriend, who I live with, I think we wouldn't be together anymore. He already skips all my lines when he plays through the game. So.
You piece of shit!
I mean, not wrong, but also like, it's every day.
Go ahead, justify it. Go ahead, I want to hear it.
day, every single day.
You B word.
This is
That's
amazing.
fair. You're not wrong.
How dare
I am
you.
not gonna.
Wow.
I am
yeah,
not
I
gonna
don't know about
say
everybody
that I
else,
say
but
that I'm not natural.
the one time that I bring out the Paimon voice is literally when it's a line that Paimon has said that if I say it in that moment, it will actually make the situation really funny. Like when
Eddie.
somebody says I'm hungry and I go, Paimon's not emergency food, you know, something like that. It's very much in passing for me, but yeah.
Sure.
Anyways, somebody else answer now before Eddie gets roasted by Koimor.
Too late.
Unbelievable.
I mean,
You
nothing new.
piece of attractive garbage.
See, there's nothing new here. There is
I'm
nothing
gonna
new
slap
here.
you on all your cheeks.
Oh.
All four. Line them up.
It'll be
Line them up, dude.
All
You'd be
four.
hard pressed to line them up, dude. You have to be a yogi or something.
Yeah.
There's a pose for it.
There's a post for it.
There's a pose. Dude.
Oh Jesus! What are we doing with this?
So yeah, does anybody else speak in their characters' lines at any point?
No.
I mean, all my characters are like whiny bitches or like literally just like normally whatever. So
I
that's
feel
kind of how
like-
I am by
I
default.
feel like when we talk, right? But I feel
This is
like when
why
we
you guys
talk
get
to
along.
each other, we actually like create our own OCs, like the Dupa Gang. That's what we
Oh, yeah,
mostly talk in, and that's completely fake. So we have OCs that we make ourselves that we talk in more than characters that we
yeah.
actually
Yeah.
got cast as.
Correct.
Yeah,
I,
the
I
data.
think it's all making new stuff rather than speaking as stuff we've
Yes,
played.
Cosmos.
And Koi, the Dada Upa Boys is me, Corey, and Christian were the original three, and we were just goofing off and
Thank you for the
came
raid.
up with a gang of roving like
Hey.
thugs, like mobsters that essentially go from people's world and help like kill things, but at the same time, like we're also pretty despicable ourselves.
A mafia
And it's pretty funny
Cool.
from
They
time to
do
time.
Cool,
mafia.
cool, cool. Dada Upa. Is that a location in the game?
It is.
Yeah, dude.
Yes.
Originally,
Okay,
I
I've
said that
it.
Dada Upa. Huh?
I think I've said it. That's why it sounds so familiar.
Oh yeah, you definitely have said it. And
Okay.
originally I was saying that Dadupa sounds like the terms like an adult man would give like crapping himself. You know what I mean? Like it has
I made a
that
Dada
kind
in
of
my
feel.
pants.
I Dada Upa myself.
Yep.
Exactly.
There's Dada Upa everywhere.
Oh no.
But we've grown very fond of Dadupa at this point in time.
Dada Upa.
Dada
Eddie
Upa.
skips chorus lines. What a Dada Upa. A piece of Dada Upa.
He's a piece of-
I mean,
We actually got a question for Koi again. Which line did it take the longest to like go over and over and over again? And was there any problems with any sort of the pronunciations? Because I know that some of the game, like we have some weird words to say and stuff like that.
I I had the opposite experience that a lot of the other Genshin actors have, where it was easier for me to say the names that were derived from Eastern cultures than it was for me
which
to
makes
say.
sense now after hearing about your
Yeah.
background. Yeah.
Yeah, because I spent like so many years of my childhood surrounded by similar names.
Yeah. I remember
So,
specifically, I was like shocked. I was like, I said it once, and he was like, "Oh, you mean this?" And I'm like, "Damn, dude! Like, yes, that's it. Let's go."
Leeway or leeway.
Yeah.
Leeway.
Leah.
Leeway. Mondstadt was confusing for a bit because there are D's where I feel like there shouldn't be D's.
Mm.
It's just I look at that word as like, that consonant looks like it does not belong there.
Right. That makes sense.
I'm not going to say it.
It also has kind of a German,
Yeah.
feel to it. You know what I mean? And there's
Yeah.
there's really no German there.
Yeah. So I'd had less exposure to that flavor of names.
Right.
And I did with Li Yuan, Inazuma, and Xingqiu, or
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Although I'm assuming the question is in reference to a tweet I made about the word brush strokes.
What?
What?
Brush strokes.
What about it?
It fucks me up every single time I try to say it
It's
because
the
of
double S's.
it's the double S's.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Okay,
funny.
I can say brush.
It's the sh to s
Yeah,
transition.
yeah. I
Mhm.
can say brush. I can say strokes. Put those together, and it's a slap in my balls. I
And that's where you have to say it from. That's the problem.
yeah.
Yeah.
Place it in your balls. Oh,
Yeah,
of course.
the ball
Uh,
placement word. Oh,
brush
okay, cool.
strokes.
Some may call those ball bearings.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
So he said, Albedo, in his character story trailer, whatever, because he's painting, he's got to say the word stroke.
Sounds like
Which,
you're
okay.
having one, dude.
Like I had to be asked to do that line again, and the directors try to be very nice, right? Because they know I have a harder time with this stupid language, and it's always like, for clarity. I know what you mean when you say for clarity. I know what word you're talking about.
For
'Cause I'm
clarity, we
struggling with it.
just mean do it right.
Yeah, I know what you mean. You don't have to be nice to me.
It's like
Oh,
we need that one again. It was a little slurry.
If
Oh.
it makes you feel better, I get that a lot, and I am a native English speaker, so.
English is such a dumb language, but it's the one everybody speaks.
Yeah, I agree. English is a really dumb language as a person who's also multilingual. So we got a request for Koi to try doing a Paimon line.
Oh yes.
I'm online.
Actually, I expect all you to do at least one Paimon line.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's right. See,
I love it.
the attitude is there always.
Yeah.
You know,
I
which
can't,
I
I
love
can't
that.
go any higher tonight. I have already started
So
indulging in
you
the
skip
beverage.
my lines, but at least you can do a good impression.
Yeah, I don't need to hear your lines. I know how they're going to be performed.
Sassy.
All right,
Am I
Koi.
wrong?
Koi, what's your Paimon impression, buddy?
All right. Well, bear with me here because I'm gonna make the role my own. So I'm gonna place
Oh, yeah.
Paimon in my chest,
Do it.
and I
Make
believe.
it all your own, man. I love it.
But you know what? Maybe Paimon could live in my nose.
Do it. Do it.
Paimon, which is I, is not emergency food. It's I
Oh.
well,
I
at the
like how you
suggestion of
almost
you.
you're putting a transatlantic accent on Paimon, and I'm loving it. Please keep it forever.
God.
This
Boy,
is
is that your D&D character?
Okay. It's one of my D&D characters.
I was like, this sounds
Hey, thank you for the
familiar
follow.
somehow.
Have we played D&D together? I don't think so.
We
No.
should though.
You know,
We should.
you know,
I think I've heard-
I
I've heard
love
too many
D&D,
voices
Koi,
from-
and I got Eddie to love D&D because I taught him how to do it.
I think I've just heard
Bro.
too many voices from you over the years that I'm just like,
no, bro. D&D is great. This is this is the voice of one of my favorite characters, Butte Slap McBeans. But Butte Slap is spelled butt slap.
Butte Slap McBeans? I love this.
I love it.
Yeah, and he's a very serious character.
Mini Foof, do you mean of all the people here as in all the people in the chat? Or do you mean, like, so I'm going to assume you mean that. So, Koi, out of all the people who is in the chat, of the characters that we play, which one of our characters is your favorite?
Okay, so
It's okay if it's not Paimon. I will only be a little bit hurt, and I will
Well,
go
he
to your
can't play
house
as Paimon,
and...
so that answer
murder
is already
you.
off the table.
all right. So who voices who here?
All right, so we've got Christy Kate, voice of Chi-Chi. We've got Corina, voice of Paimon in chat. We've got I think Christy might be the only playable here. We have Kristen Banis, who's man dressed as worker, and a bunch of others. Corey, who's Cat Daddy Draft, amongst a bunch of others.
They just
and
asked for
yourself.
favorite character. They didn't say playable. They just asked favorite character.
I voiced my opinion.
Well, it's Timmy, clearly. I mean, that's a trick question, first
Well,
of
they
all.
also said
Yeah.
of the people here. So I'm assuming they mean the characters that we play, like as in the characters we voice. Which one of our characters that we voice is your favorite?
Koi may not even
Okay,
know
well,
all of our characters.
Again,
Well, as a
Corey's
rule-
draft. Christy's Chi-Chi, Christian is man dressed as worker, which that's the correct answer, and then I'm Paimon.
Yeah, I mean, okay.
I'm just
Let's
saying.
let's just get this out of the way. The obvious answer is Christian's character.
Why, thank you, Koi.
Yeah, that's a rule.
Okay.
Who does Corey? Corey, who do you play?
Draft. He's
Give us the signature line, dude.
Please help me promote my meat.
I still like
shall,
Corey's
good sir.
Farah.
Yeah, it's early in the game with Amber. There's a character named Farah who complains about it's sticky fruit. It gets everywhere. It's so slimy. It's really weird.
I gotta wash it like 3
You
times.
have to wash it. It's like what's your problem? It's weird. So those are my two favorites, I guess.
Cool.
Yes.
Well then, you rank second.
You can stick with Mandra's worker. That's a good choice.
I like Mandra's worker. But
I want to
I'm
have
gonna
I want to have a man dressed as somebody in every. I'm gonna try and get a man dressed. I want like a man dressed as merchant or
Oh,
like I
that's
want to find
right.
something.
Christy was able to announce that they are also the unknown god at the beginning of the game. So
Oh,
that is
yeah,
a
that's
choice too. Christy is Chi-Chi
Yeah,
and
that's-
also
that's right.
the unknown god that separates the twins.
That's right.
If we have all of these man dressed as somethings, can I voice them? So it just shows the progression of this guy going from man dressed as
actually just
worker.
that one guy the whole time. Just having a tough time with all the jobs.
He gets fired from each one.
Yeah, every time
He's
he
an
gets a
intern
new
every
job,
time.
he loses his name.
They're
Get an
saying if
85K
you could
credit
get
there, by the
one
way.
playable character in the game for free right now that you don't have in your game at the moment, who would it be, Koi? Who would it be?
Oh, Zhongli, hands down. I didn't get him. And I'm
Oh
very angry
no!
about that.
Damn.
I didn't manage to get him, but I
Oh.
played. They let you try him out, you know,
Mhm.
like dealerships.
You got a little
that-
taste?
Test drives. I got a little taste, and his movements are so crisp and sharp. And when he brings down a comet from the heavens and demands order, mwah. All right, forgive me if I mispronounce any words. I have not spoken this language in 27 years.
Wow.
I'm not even 27 years old.
I was like, wait a minute.
It is. No, it's not technically true. Anyway. Parcourir le monde à la recherche de ces mystères et transformer l'inconnu en connu. Ah, ça me manque. J'aime bien le fromage. That last part was just I like cheese.
That's amazing.
I was like pretty sure you just said
Oh,
something
damn,
about
dude.
cheese there.
Here's the best part about that. If we ever localize into French, I really hope that you play the French Albedo.
Oh, if you think I have an accent in English, I have hell of an accent in French, so they're probably gonna go with a French actor. I'm just gonna
Damn, that was pretty sexy though. I gotta tell you, dude. They're saying who's more of a workaholic, Jean or Ganyu? And that's a good question.
Ooh,
The
that
answer
a-
is yes.
The answer is yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's
100%.
And then if you got them together, I feel like they would like just fall in love and then get a flat together and forever
And work.
do overtime.
And all they do is
They would
work.
not even it wouldn't even be sexual. It would just be like, "Do you want to do overtime with me?" Yes.
It's like already
Yeah.
doing it.
This sounds like a dream.
I kind of want that in real life. Can we have that in real
I was
life?
just thinking that, Jen. Yes, please.
I
I
think-
would like to order one, please.
I think the answer to that question is Jean is more presently burdened, but Ganyu has a couple extra 1,000 years of overtime clocked. So
Oh,
I,
true,
think,
true.
I think they're both the same level of tired.
You're right.
As someone who slept on the floor for 3 hours last night to get an extra hour of
damn.
sleep and not get woken up on the floor, full Ganyu style, that's why I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna stream. I slept on the ground.